Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing The Last of Us on grounded difficulty. This is part 11 of my guide. We're still in Pittsburgh. We're getting a few things from the apartment that we just jumped into. So that's important right there, to have a wider radius. I'm currently on Tommy's Dam. That's how far ahead I am. So these are stacking up, and I always hate having them stacked up. So the number one offense of this game is having to hold the L1 button while you're running. It's no less egregious than holding the L2 button, I've discovered. So here's a shiv room door. Because who the fuck wants to walk that slowly in this game? It has nothing to do with being realistic, what you would do in real life. Why would they think that I would ever want to walk that slowly? And even more so, why the hell would I want to hold the button the entire game to go fast? To do his little jogging sprint that he does. Batman does it too. And if Arkham Knight's going to be pulling that shit, I might not even play it. Like, not even in the stealth sections do you do that, because you're crouching. You know, they should have it scripted so that you do walk that slowly only in the stealth sections. But whenever there's no enemies, simply moving the left analog stick makes them sprint. So I think that's a huge oversight. And if it was intentional, it's a strong criticism against this game. I'm just sick of holding a button to run. Now you might say, well, why aren't you sick of moving the analog stick? That's not holding anything. That's just tilting the joystick forward. You know, you would expect to do that. But anyway, we have a couple of hard sections here. This is tough. Like, there's a couple sections here that I think are pretty, not the hardest in the game, but just really bothersome. And there's no bricks to throw over here too, which makes it irritating. But you have that one guy, you see the guy with the gun in the tan vest? All he does is walk in a straight line back and forth unless you put them in alert mode. If also you're running towards an enemy, about to hit him, it's a one-hit kill. But otherwise, it's a 3-hit combo, and then one more when he's on the ground. So it's 4 hits if you just go up to him. But it's never in your favor when you're hitting people. If your health is low, then they have the upper hand always. Well, that's an overstatement. I shouldn't say always, but they have the upper hand a lot if you're low on HP. And this part I was raging at this part last night. I did it well. I did it very well here, but I've redone this section because I got to the sewers and I realized that I used way too many items in Pittsburgh. So as a concession, what I did was I restarted Pittsburgh, but I started in the financial district. And many of you might say, well, why'd you pick that spot? It's a damn hard place, and all I do is punch and shoot in that part, and just multi-kill people in that locker room. That part's pretty easy now that I've done it like 4 times now. But you can see this guy's pattern, very simple. He's the third guy, but that could be hard to get that to work. Now, when you go up here, you're going to have 2 more enemies, no checkpoint, and I think my health was pretty high on this take, but last night I was redoing this part. I had 1 hit on my person left, and every time I spawn these enemies and try to jump off, Joel wouldn't jump off fast enough, and they always would hit me. So go up to about this point and then fall back down. See, does he do it here? Yeah, see? He does a little hesitation on the edge of the geometry. But the thing is, these guys don't know you're here. But it's hard to rush them because they're behind cover with guns. One guy has a gun, the other has a club. So the best scenario here would be for these guys to jump down here and you just take them out. Remember, the guys with the pipes are only a threat at melee range, so those guys can be dealt with that way, but you know, you got to prioritize those guys with the guns. Okay, so here's the ideal situation. The gun guy jumped down, but I think he saw me, or I tried to... Never try to hit these enemies when you're on like different levels of the geometry. Like if the enemy's on a platform that's low or raised up, it doesn't connect well enough. So this guy came in here. Does he have a gun? If he does, that was 2 enemies with guns. But I don't know what he had. He probably just had a gun because his pipe would have fallen. But like this area here, all there is that one vial of pills there. There's nothing else except a collectible, which I don't give a shit about. But you would think in this architecture room, or whatever that place is, it looks like some kind of a attorney's office. There's so many opportunities to hide stuff, and they don't. There's nothing there. Same goes for the beach. This section here is tough. You could actually come back up here and snipe the enemies from the window if you want to. But I was looking at my other guide and they checkpointed out here, and instead of only like 2 enemies that you're supposed to kill, there's like 6 this time with no checkpoint. By the way, this part up here, there's going to be a clicker out there which the enemies are going to get distracted by, and we're going to do a double kill up here. And it's important to know that the only way out of this building is to the left, so enemies can't come from the front of it. So we're going to grab this first guy, and I hate this sequence. I really hate this because it's unfair. So first thing you want to do is get these items. What's going on is we have an arsonist controlling the searchlight, and then we're going to have a guy patrolling down here. So you want to avoid the light, get a bottle or a brick. Again, there's very few of those items around here, but I know there's a bottle over here or a brick or something. See the arsonist up there? So I'm just going to stay in the shadows and try to kill them all as they come down here with silent takedowns and melee hits if it gets out of control. But they'll never come down unless you pull the cord or they hear something. And I don't... So they want you to pull the... I mean, I assume they want you to pull the crank so that the enemies can investigate the problem. But it takes time to pull the cord, and it also takes time for Joel to stop and walk away from it. See, I'm trying to just see who's up there actually. So I'm gonna pull this in a minute. Pull the cord. Look how long it takes to pull the cord. Well, that was... I always get contradicted when I'm talking, but the cord, I don't know. There's not enough time to get far enough away. That's, I guess, my main grievance with this. There is time enough to get to that first piece of cover, but they all swarm over to you, and it's like 2 guys at a time on both sides of you. So yeah, this part is just trash. Then after this part, I think it ranks among the sections as one of the hardest parts in the game. You know, pretty low on that list, but one of the hardest parts in the bar. And that's only coming from personal experience. I mean, where else would it come from? But like, look how many enemies there are here. It's incredible. So you can stay on either side here and take care of these guys. Okay, so here comes another guy. I'm gonna turn off my light in a second, I think. Yeah, 2 guys. Yep, there we go. So I need to silently take this guy down. You can only silently take them down from the back, though, not the front. Okay, so this guy is wise to everything. I need to throw a brick. Oh, you fucking brick. Bullshit. There's that 4-hit combo I was talking about. Okay, so that part's tough. I hate it. Really hate that part. And then here's what I think is one of the hardest parts in the game. Just because I struggle every time. I've been past this area 3 times. Every time, this part kicks my ass. Every single time. So we have that one guy in the armor. What am I doing here? I think I was at that point, my breaking point, where I started to hit people. Okay, Ellie's helping out, thankfully. Okay, great. She often will do that, and it's a lifesaver. So get back behind the bar. You saw where the HP was on the counter. You can grab it. There's plenty of bottles in this bar, appropriately enough. But not as many as you might think, though. So in a lot of these encounters, I'm just going to alert the enemies and then fall back and start killing them one by one as they come up. It's so crucial to have a brick. Or a bottle. It's so helpful because throw it, stun them, knock them out, because that gives you the upper hand that you might be lacking if you're low on HP. Okay, so Ellie got in the way that time. Okay, 4-hit combo. This guy looks like he got turned around. And also, you guys, I apologize, but in Chapter 4 in Billstown, when I was talking about the stand, I missed a shiv room door, and I didn't even know. I walked right past it. I'm such an idiot. But anyway, I thought there was something up in this area too. Like, I thought you could move the cart around to maybe get up there on that ledge up there. I swore. Does anybody know if there is? Because it seems to me like that would be a really great place to hide shit. But anyway, now we're running down here, and I've done this about twice. I think I've done it 3 times, and I've never got hit here. But I've seen people getting damaged here. So I'll see you guys in the sewers. Take